Welcome to the No Zone Part 2. We were just talking about the Otter Lodge and how it was formed, which used to be Evil Eska's Discord, E's Cafe, which we were all kind of against, I feel like, because we were figuring, like, why not just start with a fresh Discord? We made the Otter Lodge because we wanted to invite friends to it, and the Otter Mafia was always going to be sort of our exclusive just for family. Just the people that we fully trust and stuff, which Eva Leska was in there. And then when she made it her Discord, we didn't really think about it, but it made some complications later in the story. Any of you guys remember the Otter Lodge being formed and sort of why we did that?
Yes. I remember the main reason she was saying it was because everybody wanted to hang out with the otters and stuff, but we wanted to make sure we were respecting Huxley because he had created the Otter Mafia Discord because, it was apparently his Discord according to somebody else. So
Squee, motherfucking squee.
That's right. I mean,
so it had to be him, but it was like a generally unspoken rule that even though we had the power, we respected the Otter Capone, aka Huxley.
I love you guys.
oh, I love you too, Huxley.
He said like a squirrel.
Thank you.
Much love.
But that was,
But
I
yeah,
mean,
that
it
was the
was
main
weird that it was Eva Leska's Discord, and then we turned it into the Otter Lodge. So it later on, when she ended up whatever transferring ownership, it just felt like it was really always her Discord, you know, like it was her people and stuff.
It was, yeah.
And for the longest time, she had a hard time letting go of the power.
Right.
That was also another problem that I would run into with her. She just didn't like some of the stuff that was going on, because she always talked to me because obviously her and I were like, I wouldn't necessarily the closest out of all of us, but
we need Gypsy in here.
I've messaged her. She's
yeah.
probably passed out.
Yeah, it is pretty
well,
late.
The other thing too is like it all kind of started way before that, and I wish Diver was here so he could attest to this because I mentioned it in my blog because it was something we didn't mention to the other otters. It was just kept between me, Bats, and Diver. But she was like this way beforehand. But I remember we were trying so hard not to rock the boat because her Cerberus hound would go after anybody that attacked her.
Oh,
and
Cuban?
Yeah. And the other reason is we already were dealing with an otter loss with the devious goblin, as I call him.
Yeah, let's talk about the first hiccup.
The
Otter Lodge.
The Glizmo.
Back in Glizzy, dude.
And he couldn't keep my name out of his fucking mouth after I stopped talking to him and I blocked him.
Yeah.
All right. So where do we start?
Man.
Where do we start with
God
Gizmo?
I know, I almost
He tried to follow me on TikTok like a month ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yep.
Same.
He bought a new Ouija board.
Cool.
I saw that because after I saw his request to follow me on TikTok, and I was like, not yet. Hold on, let me go look at your profile real quick. And I went, nope, still not gonna allow that. He follows me, which I mean, you know what? I don't care. I don't post on TikTok. I literally get on there just to watch funny videos.
Yeah.
But
Same.
man, his videos, like I give him benefit of the doubt. He is mentally handicapped.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
But I think I almost feel like he uses it as a crutch.
Yeah.
Yep. That is exactly the point because as someone who has an invisible disability and is an advocate, I always was taught by my grandmother, not my parents, my grandmother who raised me herself, that my disability is not a crutch. It is a challenge that you work towards every day. You don't half-ass it.
Guys.
Only harassed.
Diver said he's gonna jump in.
Oh,
Yeah, bring
Okay.
Diver in
guys,
here.
We're getting
He's
so
on
far.
like
we're getting so
Big Daddy
far.
Ducky?
Oh,
The Duck Lord.
Woohoo!
We were
Duck
just
Lord.
we were just
Lord.
discussing the Bat Gang Glizzy, the Glizzy
And
Gobbler.
Yeah.
We're getting ahead of ourselves, guys. No, seriously. We remember he was our friend at one point.
He was
was.
100%,
He
and we
was.
and we accepted him because we knew obviously he was different.
Mm-hmm.
We wanted to
Yeah,
help him.
I will
He
say
was another one
Lizzie
that
is
we
the one person
definitely.
I don't know much about, so
He
I will
was one
let
of
you
the. He was
know.
one of the ones. He was
Comment.
one of the harder ones to get affiliate,
Yep.
Yeah.
and because he had a he
Yeah.
had a weird like he would just like stream randomly, and it was really
Mm-hmm.
hard to like stay on top. Like he
5 or
wasn't
6 in
like.
the morning.
Yeah, he would do like these random streams, and he didn't understand, obviously you go live more than once a day, your average gets completely screwed up.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't comprehend that, and me and Sinister, I think, got into a call with him because he had a habit of, if he saw somebody in a VC, he would just jump in.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, it was cool. We didn't really care, but it was like, hey, we tried to give him constructive criticism and just say, hey, try to eliminate your streaming, dude. Do like 2 hours. Like, especially while you're a non-affiliate. Do like an hour and a half to 2 hour stream. I said, but if you're not holding at least 3 to 4 people on average, don't stream.
Yep.
Like that's the trick. Is if you see that you're streaming for, 5, 6 hours with one viewer, well, you've just completely screwed everything up.
Right, especially
Mm-hmm.
when you're trying to get affiliate.
But he was awkward when it came to networking. He didn't know how to really
Yep.
talk to people. So, we helped him get there, get affiliated, and then, it was all right. And then after he got affiliated, dude, he was just like, I'm in it for
A
the money.
different person.
Oh yeah, he was
He
in it
tried-
for the money.
Yeah.
Tried to make it his whole career.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's
And
gonna be
not
a
only
full-time streamer
I want to get rich.
with
not
like
only
200 followers. I'm like, that's gonna
yeah.
be a tough one, man. But more, at the time, I'm like, I'm gonna be real supportive. I'm like, dude, more power to you. It's not gonna
Mhm.
work, but more power to you.
And I just also want to say, like, a lot of the issues with him, like, I remember the first one was after the whole, Bat Gang ordeal. I was just in an emotional state, due to like personal tragedy and stuff, and I felt like I was going through, as I was telling like Bud and Huxley, like a deja vu PTSD kind of moment.
Sure.
And man, they were very supportive during that time, and then I don't know how you guys tolerated it through it all, but
'Cause you're my homie.
it really helped.
Yeah, you family.
It really helped.
Mhm.
Yep.
But I remember, because it was kind of, I think, the early warning signs of what Evil Esca was truly like. Because I know Giddy was trying to talk to me about something BG related, and I'm like, hey, is it related? Like, I was saying it in a way where, like, hey, I don't want to really talk about it right now. It's not anything against you. It's to protect me and keep me in a calm, emotionless state where I'm not lashing out like a mad woman.
Oh, that's right. She went right after you for that, didn't she?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nobody else was there, but I know my significant other held his tongue because he knew how much you guys meant to me and he didn't want to risk that. But she went at me hardcore because I didn't let Giddy talk to me. And this is the fucked up part. He made the executive decision after tasting like hot sauce packets or something like that
Oh
to do
yeah.
the chip
Oh my
or
God.
scorpion
Oh,
challenge.
yeah.
And
Yes.
Satan's toe.
yeah,
Yeah, that.
and he almost went to the hospital for that. And she came at me, all upset at me because he couldn't talk to me about the BG, so that's why he did it, to get acceptance.
So, for those listening, an average habanero pepper is roughly 200,000 Scoville. This thing was 9 million Scoville.
Jesus.
9
pretty
hot.
million.
Hot.
I can confirm because I've done the Satan's toe.
There is a
Well,
clip
then
of
that's
Fats that I got
I
doing the Satan's toe,
was
and
there
I
too.
laugh every time it pops up. I'm like, ha, that's what you get.
He did it thinking it would
But
bring
here's
in
the other
viewers.
thing too. is there is a warning on these
There is.
products.
There is.
Uh-huh.
Capsaicin can't hurt you. It really can't. But let me tell you what. Gypsy stayed up until like 3 in the morning with Gizmo on the phone after that night.
Yep.
I
the-
was up with
had-
him too.
Yeah, so did Jess. Sorry, I'm having trouble remembering.
No, you're good.
I was
But-
actually quite a bit of that crap too. I was the third person from the end to bail out, and I think I left Gypsy and Jess there, but I was there for a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, and we were all
yeah.
concerned as fuck about this guy.
For real.
And the paramedic got there, basically told him he's an idiot for doing it, and then left.
hmm Well, not only that, but she had basically also accused Evaleska had basically accused me of not caring and that everything was my fault, and I had felt severely bad
That's fucked up.
yeah, and I felt severely bad that I actually stayed up, and my significant other and I I think the following day or that night we played golf with your friends with him.
What was the first time he got really mad? It was like
Oh, I remember.
too many hashtags or something in his description.
No. It wasn't that. It was
It was
like
when you
when
guys
he
were
got
trying
mad
to-
at us.
Yeah, it was
Like-
when you guys were trying to help him like fix some shit, right?
It was
Oh,
it
dude,
wasn't
that-
me.
It was
It
it
was-
was me. It was
Stream,
me
right?
because I was trying to help because his stream kept crashing.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
I jumped in the VC that he was hanging out in, and I was like, "Hey, can I help you?" He's like, "Man, I'm getting so pissed." He's like, I've tried everything. I've watched every YouTube video." So I literally was like, "All right, what are your specs on your PC? And let me see if we can just dial your stuff down to where everything works." And he pretty much he listened, but and then true, like I'm gonna do what I want to do regardless of who helps me. He
Yeah.
reverted his settings back to the way it was because his stream looked laggy. I said it's going to because you're trying to stream on McDonald's Wi-Fi, dude. Like he was
Okay,
streaming
fine.
at like 6,000 kilobytes a second, and his
Oh my God.
internet speed was only like 120. So I
Jesus.
said, "Dude, you're
Huh.
bottlenecking so bad." I said,
Mhm.
"That's your problem. You're lagging." He didn't want to listen to it and he got shitty with me. I said, "You know what, dude? Fuck it. You know what? Do what you want to do. I don't care anymore." That was when I kind of stepped back and I stopped helping him.
Mm,
I said, "You
So-
know what? I'm not gonna sit here and like give you help and then you don't want to take it."
And I think the other thing too was like the whole excuse thing.
Oh.
I mean, this was after and I'll just say this. I still feel bad about the fight that we had, Diver, over that night when he went at Gypsy and Evil for helping him with a Twitch profile issue earlier that day.
Yeah, he had
and
like
then-
1,000 hashtags or something, or like
Yeah.
every command for
Oh
his
my
channel
God.
in his description.
Oh yeah,
It was
I remember
so
that.
horrible. And he still has the Otter Mafia hashtag on his Twitch profile, which he is no longer a part of.
What?
No,
Yeah.
no, there's only a few verified users that can claim Otter Mafia.
Mhm.
Yep.
All the rest
Yeah.
are fakes.
Yep.
That's
And-
right.
And I remembered talking to like Diver and like, hey, before we just throw him out and become like another bat gang or something, let's talk to him. Like that was
Yeah.
kind of my mentality I remember at the time because like he was my friend. Like
Yeah.
but like we bonded over the bat gang stuff because they were the first two to kind of welcome me in and show me the ropes and like talk to me like a genuine human being.
Mhm.
So
Sure.
the final straw though. Let's fast forward a little bit to that. The
Oh,
the final
Jesus.
straw. Well, he had left the Discord once and came back after throwing a
God.
hissy fit.
Yeah, he's
And,
like sinister. He just leaves and
Mhm.
comes back.
Well, I mean,
I was not
he's-
there.
Sinister does it just to
he's
piss
fucking
you off, though.
around. But Gizmo
He's
did
not here to
this,
defend himself,
and
damn it.
then he ended up posting in the general chat where everyone could see because no one
Oh, yeah.
responded to him quick enough he posted something about wanting to unalive himself because his streaming career was in the toilet. Blah 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 blah.
None of us cared
Made-
about him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bunch of shit like that, and it made us very concerned. But also, it was like, look, if this is not a real situation, not trying to discredit anyone, but afterwards we found out this was just a cry for attention.
And the other thing
Anyone who
too,
does seriously deal with that kind of stuff, we need to know. So
Yeah.
that way we
Yeah.
can take appropriate action. We can't
Yeah.
have, boy who cried wolf with it.
and the other thing too is like he always made an excuse. He never wanted to be in the wrong. Like I had told him, like, dude, what you did was wrong that night, and I thought I got through to him. Like Bats genuinely knew, like, oh, I think I got through to him. Maybe we found somebody that can actually talk to him. And like I had even sent him an article, and I talked to him and stuff, and he's like, oh well, I might forget. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll pin this for you, and if you do forget, you have a place to remember where it could be at.
Are we
Because
talking about the night that he yelled at Evil on her stream?
Oh,
Wow.
shit.
I reached out to him and actually sent him an article, and I actually talked to him because in any college, at least in the States, communications class, they will always teach you how to talk to people, not at people, which is what he only loved to do, was talk at people.
Yep.
True.
Sounds about
the
right.
the thing that sucks the most is I thought that he was actually like my friend, Like I thought he was family, like all of us were.
Same.
Yeah, and I mean, you two were like best buds in my opinion.
Yeah. And that's what hurts the most is like this guy who we've been sticking up for all this time just goes and says fuck you, and then basically turncoats us. Basically says that we've been doing all sorts of shitty stuff and starts gaslighting us and shit.
And not only that, but he came back and we gave him a chance. I mean, he was not given admin privileges, but we gave him a chance.
Yeah. Yeah, and then he did that shit with the message, and that was that.
And I think the even sadder part is he actually went back to Bat Gang.
Oh yeah.
That's right.
did.
Yep.
The
I
spy.
forgot about that.
The spy, dude.
He's a spy. Espionage.
spy.
James Bond. Sean Connery.
And he tried to get back in for a third time and all that.
Yeah, he messaged me. I blocked his ass, I think.
He messaged me too, and I was just like, I can't deal with this.
Yeah.
Which brings us to the next person we should discuss. Let's talk
Oh,
about
God.
what went wrong with Evil Leska. Chicken strips?
Oh, God.
Oh God. If I'm trying, if my memory serves me right, I believe I can't. I
You
think it
and
was
Sinister and Gypsy
me,
were hanging out.
Sinister, Gypsy, and I want to say Bud was there, but you were probably highly baked at the time.
I actually was
And
there, but I
were
came
you?
in. I
Okay.
basically came in when you and Sinister were talking, and then you were like, "What the fuck is Kick Chunklas?" And I was like, "I don't know. I'll go investigate."
I think
I
I
went
popped in
to
for like a second.
You might have, because I think him and we were just chilling, because I think we were just playing some Phasmo or
Yeah.
something,
No,
just
I popped
you
in
know,
Just
right after.
bromancing it up.
yeah,
Yep.
because
Popped in
Doing
right
my
it do
time.
after.
be like that. Listen, don't judge me.
No judging
So
here, bro.
so I
Broken
think
down.
we were all just kind of hanging out, and she jumped into the VC and like just got shitty. And I can't remember why, because I know she wasn't directly mad
Oh,
at
I
me,
remember.
but she was like, she pretty much just said, "Sinister, you and I are, you're on my shit list." And we're like, why? And then she just leaves, and we're like, what the fuck was that about?
It was because he left one of her Discords.
Oh,
That's
he
right.
left
It's
her
because he was
Discord.
doing his
Oh, yeah.
bullshit where he would leave Discords,
Mhm.
and then people were like, "What the hell?" And I think it was the Kick Chancla one, because him and
Yeah.
I were talking about that. We were like,
No,
"Dude,
it was her Discord.
was it?
She
Okay,
removed it,
yeah." So we were all, him and I were a little. I think that's what we were talking about. We were talking about all the Discords, and we were like, "Dude, like I'm not active in this one." He's like, "I'm not active in like any of them." The hell?
Oh, what's that?
What just happened?
Try not to do
It's a heart
those.
attack.
Damn.
Oh,
Just a
Zero
friendly
to party real
reminder, this
quick.
will be on YouTube, Dylan.
Yeah.
I
I'll
thought
take
I
Sorry,
just
I
that.
did
got
not
like
mean
an
to do that.
offline raid or some shit, dude. I got excited and pissed, like damn near
I
pissed
did
myself
not
at the
mean to
same
do that. I'm
time.
sorry.
You okay?
I thought it was only
I'm gonna
playing
have
my
some fun
ears.
editing this.
No, I
But
didn't play.
You're
but in
evil.
a nutshell, like me and Sinister were basically saying, hey, like, you know, why are we in so many discords? Like, what's the point? We're not active in them, and we were just like, you know what, screw it. Like, I'm gonna leave some discords, and I left some discords. He was like,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna see if I can ruffle some more feathers, and I'm like, God
Oh
damn it,
my
man.
god.
Like that's just who Sinister is. He's an
Yeah.
asshole. He
Yeah.
will
Yep.
literally just because he can. So
He loves
he
Sinister,
goes,
man.
I'm leaving evils, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I was like, here we go. And so he does, and I think that's when she jumped in and she was like,
Yeah.
you're in deep shit, mister. And I'm like, oh God.
And
And Sinister was pretty much like, well, I mean, I'm not active in there. And he was being like legit because he's not active in her Discord, and neither was I. I was like,
yeah.
well, I mean, you're not wrong because to me, it's wasted space on my Discord. Like my Discord, I am in like maybe I was at the time I was in like 50 plus Discords, and I'm like, this is stupid.
I think
I was
I'm
like,
in
I'm not even
91.
active in like 30 of these. So I went through and I just cleaned house,
I'm in
and
91.
that's
I'm not
dumb.
even.
I'm sorry. I
In
don't
too
Yeah.
many.
understand the point of. I mean, if they're your direct friends, cool, I get it.
No.
But I got to the point where I was like, this is too many Discords to to
Mhm.
have. Like I
totally
almost
And I-
agree.
got to the point where I started deleting. I almost deleted Discord from my phone because it
Yep.
was like, dude, there were so many alerts coming through, and I'm like, God damn, I need to go through and mute them. And then I realized that I have to do it to like 60 of them. I'm like, this is too much. Like I don't have time for this. So him and we all just went through and just started cleaning stuff, and we next thing you know, she jumps in and chews his ass out, and I don't even know what transpired between her and Gypsy. Like
well, I
that
can
was
help
a
out with
whole
that
like
too.
another subject. So like I'm like stuck in the middle of this,
Yep.
and I'm
And
like,
I mean,
okay, I don't like this. Like because I like evil. I was like, this is
Mhm.
weird.
Yeah,
Like
we
Yeah.
what
all
just
did.
happened? Like she blew up on him for like no reason, basically.
Mhm. And the other thing
I
too
believe it.
is that because I had talked with Gypsy and all that because we were talking after you left, I think. And she missed evil too and stuff, but around this time too that I want to mention is like this is when the whole Xenial villains and the kick
Oh
chunkla
God.
crap started. Like this was around the same time of that as well, that this was going on. And the reason that the whole kick chunklas was created was because of that split and because of who
Oh,
posted
when
on
Koopa got
X and
deleted.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's around the same time. So I like some of us even wondered if that was getting to her as well. But like me and Gypsy actually had a conversation about it because I know she was upset. Like I literally went from the call to Sinister and Chicken just playing Phasmophobia, having a bromance and all that.
Listen. Listen.
You could listen, Linda, me later.
Listen, Linda.
But then I went from that because, like I said, I talked with like Roni Baloney and all of them just to figure out what was going on with the Discord and why it was being created because we all received an invite in the Otter Lodge.
Yeah, I think I did
And
too.
and I came back to the call to a Gypsy crying and being upset and I like this was observation. I am not assuming that's how you guys were feeling, but I thought you were maybe agitated or frustrated, Chicken. So like I came back into a room that I didn't know what was going on.
Right.
And she was really upset about it and she just didn't know why Evil was being like this and like
None of us
Evil
did.
had said Evil had said, "Oh, well, she would never message me back or something like that." And it's like the messages she was
That's
sending
what it
Gypsy.
was. She came in and she said, "Oh, thanks for
Mhm.
replying to my message, Gypsy." And Gypsy's like, "I just got home." Like she
Exactly.
literally
Like,
had just jumped in the VC when she got home, because
mhm,
she jumped in after. That's what it was. And
mhm,
like when she left, Gypsy's like, "What the fuck is her problem?" Like I don't know if
mhm.
Evil was just having a bad day and just decided to just shit on everybody else's day.
Take
I
her
don't know.
bucket of shit and throw it on everybody.
Literally.
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
did actually have a chance to talk with Evil about this. And the basic consensus was that yes, she was having a bad day, and she claimed that she was not allowed to have a bad day because of y'all's reaction.
Oh, this is a pretty
Well,
bad day.
it'd be more or less like, just tell us you're having a bad day. Don't just come
Mhm.
into a VC and fucking yell at us. That was the whole thing.
Yeah.
Bats,
Yeah,
why
that
don't
was our
you
main
fill
thing.
us
Right.
in on the transfer of ownership of the Otter Lodge?
Well, there was actually one other thing I wanted to touch because Diver is here now that I
Sure.
think should also be mentioned that happened prior to all of that that I
Yes.
think was another warning sign. And that was when she tanked half of our viewership in our streams. I want Diver to go first though because I
Okay,
want
yeah. How'd she
So
do that, Diver?
there was a time where I was trying to do, I was trying to step outside of horror a little bit because that's most of what I do is just horror games. Every once in a while, I get that itch to do something else. I thought, it might be fun. Hitman. So I boot that up, start the stream. I put in some new alerts and everything, and I was kind of excited for them. One of them was broken. So that alert starts going off right at the beginning of the stream. It's like a meow. It was
I remember
Uh-huh.
this.
It
fun.
went off for
And
like 4 minutes or
it
something.
just goes for like
Oh no.
something.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So she's there and she hears it. It gets to the end, and then somebody else boots it up a second time, and she goes, "My God, it's giving me hives. I hate the sound of this. It's making me miserable. I'm getting sick." And I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm gonna put it on Be Right Back so you guys can't hear me for a second. I'm gonna see if I can disable it." And I go to Be Right Back to go to disable it because like I don't want to. I'm not trying to make people uncomfortable, you know.
Sure.
Right.
And then when I come back, she's like, I can't believe you actually went to Be Right Back just to pull that off. Now I'm the bad guy, right? You make me feel like such.
Mhm.
I'm going to go start my own stream now. And
Oh
she
my god, no
The
she
She
didn't.
said that in chat.
Oof.
said that right in chat, and almost everybody left with her. I don't know if they went to her chat or they just left, but
Yeah,
almost
Diver had a
there.
good number of people in there too.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And the other thing
Damn.
too
What the
is
fuck?
she was a moderator for our channels.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
Yep.
was
Yep.
in mine too.
Yep.
We trusted her with everything.
She was
Yep.
the
Mhm.
Otter mom.
She was.
She had a
And
fucking onesie, bro.
Yeah.
and
She says she still has that.
here's the other fucked up thing that happened literally 2 days later, and this caused a call for me, Diver, and Bats to have because we did not know what to do, and Bats is our head mod for our channels.
Mhm.
Well, aside from Huxley for mine, but Bats is our common head mod for our channels. And what she did to me was equally bad. I had about maybe 6 people in my Evil Within stream. I was streaming that on Friday because that was Freaky Friday, which she kind of technically stole from me a little bit, but I didn't care. And the one thing that really fucking bothered me was that she decided to come into my stream and she lurked. I didn't know that Stream Elements was having issues. I was just, getting the shit scared out of me for the Evil Within game. That took forever to beat the main story, and I still haven't done the DLCs. But she goes in there to say, your lurk command is broken, da 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 da. And I'm
Your
like, what
lurk
the fuck?
command is broken?
Yeah.
My
What?
lurk, yeah,
Oh my
because
god.
mine will whisper
Thanks for the heads
DM
up.
messages to people.
Right. I
I'm,
hate the lurk command. I'm
I'm
not gonna
so
lie.
glad
I
that
think
my
that is
lurk
such.
command isn't working.
I feel like the lurk command is literally just an attention grabber. That's it.
That's why I
Well,
made
the
mine
thing
funny.
is that I do it in a way to appreciate people if they decide to lurk without calling them out, like in the chat. I know it freaked Bats out when she tried it out once, but
I have a whisper. I'm like, what the heck?
but I had it as a whisper. But here's the other thing that I was like, and I mean, we were dealing with another common troublemaker for me and Diver.
Mhm.
But you know, the common troublemaker and I had tested it out because I'm like, it works fine for me. And then Bats tested it out and she's like, yeah, it's broken, but it's not your fault. It's Stream Elements because it like duplicated the message twice in a whisper and she freaked out over that.
Oh my god.
Yeah. She
And it
critiqued a lot of people's streams.
Your lurk command
exactly.
is not working.
The audacity.
The
And
audacity.
my viewership was at a 6 and it went from 6 to 3. So it
Sure.
hurt
People don't
really
really
bad
like
for
the
us.
like negative vibes, even in chat and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah,
Mhm,
Diver, he
yeah.
had like 10 to 15
10.
people.
Yep.
And as soon as she made that comment, he dropped down to 2.
And you
Oof.
know what?
Oh my
That's
god.
having
That's more than half.
having 10 to 15 people is huge for like small streamers like us.
Absolutely.
Literally.
Yeah.
You know, like we get excited over that.
I
Mhm.
So
average like
for somebody to
2
come
to
in there
4.
and run and basically just kill the vibe, you're
Especially a moderator
right.
who's supposed to
You're
Yeah.
represent
basically
the
now being
channel.
portrayed as a horrible streamer. I don't want to
Mhm.
watch you because they're right. Your stream's broken.
Right.
And you're like, look, I didn't break it. It's just broken. Like that's not my fault.
It's a
Yeah.
lurk
Like shit. You know
command.
how many times I fucking
Mhm.
started my stream and I have no sound?
Oh my
No.
god.
Or I
Let
forget
But
to unmute myself. It's like, dude, I don't care. Like if
but
it's broken, let it be broken. I don't care.
Like,
But I felt like we should have said something back then because, like, Diver, me, and Bats, we were all like worried about saying something because we didn't know how bad it would rock the boat, especially after the Outlast game voting, which, you know, let's just say this.
Oh boy.
You chose to play the game after making the poll and making the
Hang on.
choices of not
You put the
stating any
scare
rules.
alerts in, you
That's the thing
played
that
the
most
game.
people don't
Hang
know.
on, let's give some background. All right, so she puts up this poll, says, "Hey,
He
funny
was
game, scary game,
celebrating
all this shit."
666 followers or something.
Yeah, something like that. And she puts up Outlast as one of them. Well, Outlast wins. She ends up. I wasn't personally present for this, but I've heard about it. She ends up going and playing Outlast, and apparently all the people. I might have been there. I don't remember. I might have been high as balls.
You might have
I
was
been.
there.
dropped like $20 scaring the hell out of her.
But basically, the point of the stream was to scare the shit out of her, and
For money.
apparently, some people got some hate for that.
2 people got
Yeah.
malice and harassment from the Cerberus Hound.
Otherwise
Can I
known
say
as
something real
Cuban.
quick?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So what most people don't know is me and Diver worked super duper hard to make sure that that game did not get voted.
yep.
We literally bought her games that were on the horror side, but with less jump scares in it. Diver spent the most money on her. I think he gifted her like 4 games.
Yeah,
So
I gifted.
Really?
I
gave
have.
her amnesia.
Yeah, she was like, I have no choice. I have to play Outlast. It's the only thing. And I was like, Evil, it's your poll. You can put whatever you want in there that's a scary
Mhm.
can handle. Here's 4 more games. Here's $60 worth of more games.
Take
Yeah.
Outlast out and put these ones in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's your
I mean,
stream. You make the call.
I didn't know about
Bats
that.
and I talked about it, and I was like, yeah, I'm willing to vote whatever you think would be least scary because, you know, I cared about her. And
I voted for
Yeah.
Outlast.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
I voted for
everybody voted
Outlast.
for Outlast though. So me and Diver, we gave up after that. We're like, okay,
Well, what's
whatever. So
I did. I saw she had Outlast down there. I'm like, click. You
Yeah.
playing that tonight?
I played it.
Look.
It's not that bad.
Look.
but
And I know the
Cuban
argument
went
that
after
people are.
Diver too.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Cuban went after Diver as well for that, even though he was the
Mhm.
one that tried to help her.
Yeah,
Oh
he
wow.
So
came into my own stream and said one of the
Mhm.
things he ever said to me directly, which was, and I hate to say this, but I'm gonna repeat what he said. He goes, "Hey, are you gonna do this spicy challenge?" And I was like, you know what? I don't think I'm gonna do that one. That one seems like it's a little bit hot for me. It was some like a step up challenge with like super spicy nuts or something, and I was like, nah. I think that's outside of my range. And he goes, that's funny because the nose man wouldn't do it either. Are you a coward like him? And I was like, who
What?
hell did you say?
Yep.
The nose man.
The nose man.
It's
No,
like
not the nose.
anyone that goes against her, be careful of the Cerberus Hound because he will come after you like a rabid dog.
Yeah, don't mess with his
So-
evil.
So
How dare you pay
Bring it
money to
on.
scare her?
Right.
and I know
The audacity.
now there's this is a little bit of private information. She has some health issues that could be affected by scary games, and we were
True.
aware of that. She was aware of that, and she still did it.
Yeah.
And
That's why I was
her choice.
saying-
That's fine. It's just why get mad about that.
Right. Like, don't get mad if she asked for it by doing a poll, and she
Yep.
followed through with said poll's question,
And she made the sound alerts too. It wasn't like we
Yes.
forced her to pick
which
sound
she
alerts
didn't
that
have.
would
No.
scare
She
her.
could have chose less scary ones,
Mhm.
or
She
could have
could've put
chose
Care
better
Bears
ones,
up.
or
Ooh,
didn't have
Care
to do them at
Bears.
all.
I'm just gonna be real, and
So it's
Hinos
just
can relate
funny.
to this. When I first started streaming on Kick, I had a chicken dance sound alert, and it was ungoverned, and my arms were so sore the next day I could not lift them. And
I don't ever want to hear anyone complain about chicken dances, okay?
It's funny because
Hey,
for the longest time, going to
I
this chicken
praise
dance,
chicken
by the
dance
way.
every time. I give a shout out to when he knows is around. I literally say, and Bats can attest to this. I go, that makes the chicken dance cool again.
Right.
Hell
I
yeah.
laugh
Yeah.
because for the
You really
longest
did.
time,
Yes.
whenever I would watch He Knows
Mhm.
His streams and he'd have the chicken dance, and of course, my name in the streaming world is F You Chicken Strips.
F
So
you
everybody
chicken
was
strip.
like, why don't you have one? And I'm like, honestly, that's a good question. Why does He Knows have one and I don't?
I mean, Bud's even.
And then I was like, dude, I can't one up him. Like, there's just no way. He has the best chicken dance in the Twitch
Mhm.
community,
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
in the
yeah.
streaming community.
I mean,
Yep.
mine's cool, but nothing compared to the OG.
Like, I even
Yeah.
bought a chicken mask, okay, and I still can't top it.
I fucking love
No,
that
really.
chicken mask too.
But yeah, like all of that occurred like months before, and like I said, like Diver, Bats, and I had a little meeting over it because we didn't know what to do. We just decided to do nothing and just like let it be, because if we anger the destructive Beldam, then we get the Cerberus Hound. And I know one thing, I did not want to deal with that because it would not have ended well, and it probably would have destroyed the Otter Lodge quicker.
Fuck is
See, and
that?
I didn't even know about any of this, but I mean, Cuban unfollowed
This-
me, which
This is the
no
first
big
I've ever
deal.
heard this Cerberus Hound like any of this.
What the
That's
fuck is
my
Beldam?
reference to Cuban.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've never. Yeah, I've
For
never
Beldam.
actually
You
had
gotta
any
check out the
interactions
blog,
with
dude. You wrote a really
Yep.
good blog.
I found
Never
out what
sh-
Beldam
Yeah.
meant.
Yeah,
Good
don't look that
job.
one up. You're gonna love it. Bats, why don't you tell us about the transfer of ownership of Otter Lodge, though?
Oh, dear Lord.
Let's
So
get
the
right into it.
morning-
Strap in.
The
It was about
morning
as
it
seamless.
happened, we were all in Diver's Discord just talking. And we were all talking about playing Phasmo with Gypsy. Because Sinister and Gypsy had an ongoing joke calling them each besties. And Evil got upset with that because Gypsy was her bestie. So when we all decided we're going to play a game together, we didn't invite Evil. She got upset with me. And she messaged me and she said, I can't do this anymore. I'm just going to transfer ownership of Otter Lodge to you. It's your problem now. You deal with it. I told her, no, don't do that because I don't need that stress. But she did it anyway. And I will say, having to deal with that Discord by myself was really difficult and stressful. And I hated every minute of it because I had to go through and change like all the settings.
Oh God.
Not only
Oh, I
that,
remember that.
Get
I
rid of
remember.
certain people that were moderators
Mm-hmm.
because they were giving her information and stuff. So I
Because
had
it
to
was
get
all
rid of
Evil
Yeah.
Eska's people. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
shutting that Discord down was the best decision that I think could have been made because it
but,
was doing no good.
but it didn't
Well,
come without some hardship.
yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
There were a
Yeah.
lot of our
Because
friends in there. I mean,
Yes.
because
There
And
was
it,
some good and bad.
and it caused some
well,
fighting in between everybody.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we
Because
all
Yeah,
decided that we were gonna give it like a
Mhm.
week to get people to add each other on Twitch or Kick or wherever they were at. And I did not want to wait a week because I was very stressful. And you know how me and Diver are very close friends.
Mhm.
So I would talk to him about it, and he noticed that it was literally eating at me like very bad. It was making me depressed and sad. So he decided to take ownership and get rid of it the next day.
And
Yeah, and
yep.
and
Let's talk
every
about that, Diver, because that was one thing that was like I
Mhm.
obviously rooted for was like get rid of it because it was evils.
Yep. Shut it down.
at the end of the day, I could appreciate the thought behind, let's give everybody a week to try to get their stuff together, but the longer that Discord stayed, like the way I was looking at it, the longer it stayed in place, the longer everybody was going to go back and forth on it, and then maybe change their mind, flip flop, want it to stay another week beyond that, another 2 weeks beyond that, and like it was starting to pit people against each other. I've had a year of drama in the streaming world. Like it's been a fantastic year, and I've loved so much. But behind
Mhm.
there's always some
Mm-hmm.
weird drama
Mhm.
going on.
For
And
everybody too of any size.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
buddy,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and I had just finally put one to rest. And I was like, I can breathe. And then the Otter Lodge thing happened, and I was like, damn it, I'm not going to be able to breathe.
Yeah.
Nuke it.
Over there
And
dissolving, and I just said, you know what?
Mhm.
Do me a favor, transfer it to me. This is therapeutic for me at this point. I'm going to sit.
Right.
Right.
This is gonna give me happiness.
Yeah.
But
Right.
ownership,
Serotonin.
he literally went
Nice
in
I'll,
for
there
the
and
souls of the
started
damned to
deleting.
release.
I'll give everybody I'll give everybody 1 day, 24
Mhm.
hours to find
Yep.
their building, and then I'm burning it to the ground. And we're not going to lose each other. We're the Otters. We know who we are.
Right.
But
Oh yeah.
there's going to be no place left for her spies or her to come back and start more stuff. The landing pad will be gone.
Mhm. Well, not only that, but it was also around the time that the first Katie, or not Katie, KT server disbanded, and a lot of them were in there too. Because I was co-owner with Bats because she had asked me. Um,
Yeah,
and I
evil
remember
was
voicing.
taking quite a bit of the Koopas into there for sure.
I was
Mhm.
about to say, I mean, let's not forget about her recent attempt at a coup.
Yeah. Well, the other thing too is that I was the one because I remember one of them had voiced about making sure they had time to uh, be able to have that connection. And I wouldn't have wanted it to be there after a week, but I wanted to make sure that it wasn't just another Koopa disband immediately and stuff because I remember how that felt. And that was a horrible experience to experience.
Sure. The rest of us were like, nuke it, burn
Yeah.
it to the
Yeah.
Sure, I
ground. It
started
No, I
doing
smells of
yeah.
evil.
the what's that movie? From the dude sings "Let it die, let it shrivel up and."
That's the
Yeah,
Lorax.
Yeah.
that Lorax. Yes, that is literally what I was singing. And then
I was
I'm
I
literally like
was
I think I messaged Diver like that morning, and I
Yeah.
said, hey, when are you shutting it down?
Yep.
Dude.
And
well,
you were like, I think you said like the next day, and I was like, dude, just shut the son of a bitch down.
Just
Like
turn it
I
off.
would just end it
yeah.
I
because
Yeah.
was
it's
I was
honestly
actually
you got all those feelings still in the system. It's like, dude, if you just cut it off now,
Mm-hmm.
that takes that pain and just kind of, yeah, it sucks. Don't
Rip
get me
off
wrong,
the
because that was our
Band-Aid.
home.
Mm-hmm.
That was our home.
Yeah.
Honesty.
Like
We
that was where
all have
everybody
had it.
was. Everybody knew everybody was there, and
Mm-hmm.
then it
Yeah.
disbanded. So it was kind of weird for like couple weeks, and then it was like no
Mhm.
big deal. Like
Yep.
we usually will
Yeah,
hang out at
because we're all
Divers,
in
or
each
we'll go
other's
to
Discord.
Bats, or
Yeah.
we'll go hang out at Hino's, or we'll hang out over here. You know, hang out in mine. Like we just kind of jumped around. We didn't really,
Mhm.
nothing really changed per se for us,
Yeah.
but
We just
it was
didn't
just
have
okay.
that central hub where we had
Well,
extra
Right.
For
people
a little
too.
while though.
the only thing
Mm-hmm.
that changed for me after that, I think, was the fact that the argument that I had with Bats over closing it down and all that, and I had felt about that. But after some time, I was like, yeah, Evil really fucked up. And the other things that we did for her too, like we actually told her straight out that what she did was wrong, and I even was the last person that tried to convince her to stay and all that when she wanted to go. And she spied on us even with
Even
an
popped into
alternative
some of
account
your
after we.
chats too.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, that was so messed up. Like, what did we even do, bro?
Right. Like we raised
Exactly.
money. Like let's not
Evil.
forget.
What
we
did
raised,
Huxley do?
Yeah.
Well,
Like
yeah,
we
I
raised
would like to
money
know
for
if
her.
she's here listening. I would like
Yeah.
to know, like, what did I do?
Oh, and
Well,
let's not forget how she
Yeah.
harassed
You were-
Bats because she was banned from Diver's stream.
Yeah.
A lot of us
Yeah.
were kind of shunned because we were guilty by association.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
that's
And
literally
also
all
too,
it
let's
was.
not forget, we raised money for her and surprised what was
Yep.
that? One of the streams.
It was almost
like,
1,000.
It was
She
Yeah.
almost
faked being
$1,000.
nice to me.
Yep.
yeah, like
Diver's the one that
like
set
come
up
on.
that whole Otter Day just for her.
Just
Literally.
for her.
Or
Because
the
Yeah,
fact
dude.
that I made an Otter Lodge logo for
Mhm.
her.
And you know what? Those
Yes.
Otter, I just accidentally clicked on.
They
I
were
clicked
so
on our Otter
cute.
emote channel. There's still
Mhm.
some of the Otter Lodge emotes still in here
Oh.
that we
Mhm.
Fuck
transferred
yeah.
over to this Discord.
Fuck yeah.
Reminds
Oh,
you of
I
good
don't think
times.
mine is there, but
It's not.
I don't have it anymore. So if you guys were hoping to have that one,
But
I'm
no,
sorry.
in theory, Otter Lodge is no more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We
Yep.
still have Otter
Yeah.
Mafia, but we no longer have the Otter
Yeah.
Lodge.
I
Yeah.
remember getting off on that big tangent at the time too about how she was so sad the family was drifting apart, and I thought about it a little bit and I was like, you know what? I'm one of the quiet guys here. I'm not I'm not always as interactive as everybody else because I have just as much going on as anybody else, and sometimes I get tied up with my own stuff. But at the end of the day,
That's fine.
very proud member of the Otter. So why don't I just start sending everybody private messages? And I conferred with Huxley and I was like, hey, do you think this would be a good idea? Anybody that I miss on this list, can you reach out to them? I'm going to make you tell me a time that you can do it. And then I figured that's going to be a good happy medium time between our time zones because we're so far apart.
Yeah.
Just swing
Mhm.
as many people as we can get because it was like the family is breaking apart. Let's get everybody back together in one place at one time. This is going to be great.
Mhm.
And even after that, nobody cares. Nobody ever wants to do anything for me. Nobody this, nobody that.
Oh,
Yep.
let's not forget the crocodile tears because Bats was there and I
Wait,
had to
what?
have fucking
Oh.
restraint
God.
because I was there with her, so was Mischief, and this was after Gypsy left the Discord.
Hmm.
Sure.
And I had blatantly told her, well, you had yelled at them, Evil. And she, oh my God, Bats. What was she saying? Like, as she was crying her crocodile tears, because I was so livid that she was not even listening.
She basically said that Gypsy didn't care about her feelings and that she did nothing wrong and it was not her fault.
Mm-hmm.
Not
And
my
that is
fault. I
basically the
popped in and yelled at you.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's how she was because and I'm just gonna say it because I don't fucking care if she tries to come at me. Me and someone else are the reason why you never became a fucking mod again in the Koopa Troop.
Let's
Because
go.
we did not go rogue on the fucking otters and just talk to you. No, we talked to them, and we still have strong feelings about what you did to us. Just fucking saying.
And guess what? We're still here, evil. The otters are still together.
Yep, yep.
Mm-hmm.
Squeeze, squeeze for the people in the back.
Squeeze, squeeze. Did we miss
The people
anything?
in the back.
Anybody need to get
And
anything
even
else?
if we can't all be together, we are still bonded by the otter friendship and code of non-treachery and backstabbingness.
That's
Yeah.
right.
True.
No, I don't believe any of us take any offense when somebody in the otter, the group of otters doesn't show up to their stream.
Mm-mm.
No,
No,
we
I
all
know
not
you
at
guys
all.
are
understand.
fine.
What?
Like
I
we have
has like
lives.
I say it all the time. I appreciate if whether I have 1 or 100. I
Exactly.
Mhm.
didn't.
True.
Yeah.
Mhm.
When
I,
when I see you guys pop in, it's like having a family member who I love who doesn't always get to come.
yeah.
An out of town family member, one of my favorite. You pop in, and I'm like, oh shit, it's you. Hey,
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yo.
Yeah.
and I'll
Yeah.
reach over into my big pile of ducks on this chair over here and pull out the one otter puppet that I've got sitting over here, and I'll go, squeak, squeak, guys, it's you. It's you.
Yeah. And like how I said, like when I was asked how like my start, if it wasn't for bats and like partial to like how we talked about before, bat gang, I wouldn't be an affiliate, wouldn't have this like close other group of friends and like
Yep.
in the streaming community. And I if it's okay, I did want to kind of not some new, well, not announce, but kind of ask something if that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely, dude.
Um, for those that I think most everybody knows, um, it January 20th, I will be hitting 1 year as an affiliate,
Let's go.
and then August will be 1 year as a streaming in general.
Hell
But
yeah.
um and I just kind of want and and if it wasn't and didn't and I'm excluding Bat Gang from this for just a second, if it wasn't for Bat sticking with me and truly being there for me more than Bat Gang ever was, I don't know if I really would have stuck with streaming because I don't know if I would have had a closer friend there by my side.
Aw.
Oh,
And
I'm
that's
glad you're still
why
streaming. I love your stream today.
and I think some of you guys heard me say it when I had shown the poster and said, and I think I remember a couple times it commented said something about it where I said there's something I'm working on and keeping it close and see if I can make it happen. And I think Jester heard me, and I
Mhm.
don't know how many others really heard me when I said that. Just because I know some others like doing things and stuff, and what I would what that is that I would if are wanting to, and it's okay if can't, but I was gonna try to have some of you guys co stream with and talk about when we first when you first met me and my journey from your guys' point of view. Because
Aw.
if it wasn't
Absolutely.
Of
for
course.
Dude, yes.
like bats and how supportive and then meeting you guys, I don't I and this was all like this is fun, like this was not what I would have pictured myself doing. So if I just want those that mean the most and have been there the journey the most to share their point of view. So
Aw.
Oh,
Aw,
yeah.
of
Love you,
Yeah,
course.
buddy.
so that's so if are able to, would be just let me message me and let me know, so that way you can kind of get that
Mhm.
figured out. So
Well,
That's
congratulations, dude. I'm so
Yeah.
happy.
yeah,
Yes,
dude. Big
yeah,
that's
no,
exciting
motivation.
stuff.
Yeah.
And the
yeah, no.
link will be in the description. Anything else we want to
Oh
add?
yeah.
Anybody else? Any Evil Eska? The GoFundMe? Did we even hit
Oh,
that?
We
yeah, I
Partially.
think
I want to
Okay,
say one
good.
thing though.
Okay.
I just
So
want to
what's
Let's let Bats go.
okay?
I just want to put out there that I did care about Evaleska. There were nights where I stayed up and let her cry it out and talk. So it hurt
um
when she told me that I didn't
mhm.
care. When I felt that she was like a second mother to me. So when she did what she did, that really hurt me because I spent many nights sitting there letting her cry it out and talk.
Mhm. And not only that, but I mean, there was one night that you had reached out to me and you had said that if you weren't there, she was threatening to unalive herself.
Mhm.
Oh my god.
Mhm.
And see
Mhm.
why I got so mad about the gizmo thing.
And Mischief, she was there that night too. So if she was here, she
oh
would have
yeah,
gotten that. So I think
Yeah,
Dylan was there at some point. But
I
yeah.
might have. I remember
he was
being at the
near
back
the
end of
end.
it.
Mhm.
Yeah, getting told about, oh, this is what happened. You missed it. I'm like,
Yeah.
clearly I missed a lot. But
Yeah.
I actually have to go. It is
All
getting
right.
late for me.
Much love,
Thank you.
Dylan.
Understandable.
Yeah,
Much love,
thank you
Dylan.
I
Mhm.
for
love Dylan.
including and being able to talk about the journey to how we got here.
Of
Oh
course.
yeah.
Squee
Because
squee, dude.
Squeeze,
been a
squeeze.
journey to
Wait,
say
wait.
the squee squee. Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Alright.
Bye.
All right,
But
so do we get it all out there?
yeah. Unless
Everybody
Bud?
feeling good? Diver, Huxley?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know. Everyone seems to be in the same consensus of she's burnt all the goddamn bridges to ash, and then those ash have been scattered in the wind.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
not only that, but she tried to do as if I can mention some of the stuff from the Hey You Mad podcast, can I?
Yeah, of
well,
course.
I'd like to say something before you do.
Go ahead.
So, if she does listen to this, I want everyone to know that I have done nothing but report the truth and only the truth. And I've heard both sides of the story. One from hers, one from y'all's. I've even gotten some in the middle. And it just. What the fuck is my cat doing? Shut up, cat. No. Sorry. Stoner moment.
Teleprompter. No, just
Oh
kidding.
my god. I need
He'll
one.
read anything you put on there, guys. It's not funny.
No, but. Damn, where was my thought going with that? Shit.
He's
You were
tainted.
saying
Forgive him.
something like she told you a story, we
Oh,
told you a
yeah.
story in the
Yeah,
middle of
so
all that.
her version after hearing both sides, and I'm not saying these words to discredit her story. I'm just saying what it seems like. It seems like a watered down version of the story you guys have told me.
A half
Mm-hmm.
truth and a whole lie.
And
Heyo.
and whenever I see both sides, one, I see all the people here that have come together and been part of this family forever, and they're all saying one thing versus one person saying something completely opposite and toned down. And it's just like, I know who to believe. This time the masses are correct. I'm sorry to say that, but if I don't know, man, it just to feel that you've been manipulated like that, it hurts.
Right. And that's
Yeah,
what something
100.
she was known for was manipulation.
That was one of the hardest
Especially
things is to basically bend over backwards for somebody and then just get a knife straight to the middle of your back.
Right.
Like,
That's
I-
what it
Mhm.
feels like.
I fucking stuck up for her, man.
We all did.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
One
all
thing or
did.
another, we all did.
Yeah.
And I think what hurt more was like when she, and kind of touching on like the Hey You Mad podcast a little bit, she literally tried adding bats in the Koopa Troop Discord, but like, acting like nothing happened. And even though we have her blocked, she can still add us in Discords if
Oh
we're in the
yeah.
mutual
Same server.
Discord.
Wait. She's
Yep.
still in the Koopas?
No, she's
No,
banned, but this was
yeah.
before she was banned.
Oh.
And
Okay.
that was an extremely uncomfortable time. And there's a person that I had to reach out to because, apparently being banned for gifts which are threatening and racial to an extent, like that shouldn't be bannable, but whatever. But the bigger thing was like, in a way that could be constituted as harassment, and we've let some of the mutual friends know the truth, nothing but the truth, and even provided photographic evidence as needed. So, be careful which other servers you join.
That's right. Actually, be careful with any Discords you join.
Yeah, honestly.
Which makes this
Mhm.
one extra special because no one's invited. It's our own cool secret club.
Mhm.
Good luck getting
And
in.
Squeak,
not only that, but maybe some people don't want to fuck the otters over, and we'll actually listen to the squeers.
That's right.